This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals, following the announcement that the company will be starting the graphite ground exploration work on the 3rd of June with the objective to map the strike extensions of graphite that were intersected by Panther in November 2022 and based off historical showings reports. Well, thank you very much for your time. Darren, how are you?
Yeah, no, very well, Mark. Thanks. Yourself?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, of course, we spoke about this. I think it was last week, and you mentioned this would be targeted to start around this date. But I wonder if we could talk a little bit more specifically around the specifics of what the team will actually be physically doing on the ground and what they'll be collecting data on.
Yeah, initially, you have to refer back to the discovery hole at 27 metres of graphite. And that was announced earlier on this year. So the first target, we've got 3 conductive units. They run parallel to each other. And in fact, in some places, they almost touch. But the biggest gap is 200 metres. So they're all 3 of them are approximately 4 to 5 kilometres long. The response to them is extremely positive. Having found graphite so we've hit the graphite hole was discovered on towards the western edge of the most southern conductor. So even though they're very close together, that's where it was found. So to really understand the scale, what people should do is basically walk for 3 miles, straight line, walk 3 miles, then walk back, and then walk back again. Then you're looking at, you've never left these conductors. That all the indications are they're graphitic. So the team will be boots on the ground. They'll be looking for evidence of this at surface. We've got reports, historic reports, that are claiming there's graphite at surface. Mm-hmm. You've got to remember that the old timers weren't looking for graphite. It didn't interest them in the slightest. So the fact it's even mentioned is in our view potentially very significant. We've got one report stating that graphite is abundant at surface in the area. So everything's pointing to a really exciting location, but we've got to start defining this down to make it commercial ultimately. And this is actually the start of that process. And our overall target area is 21 square kilometres for exploration for graphite. The conductors outside of these 3 conductive units that are stronger, they're more intense, they're closer together. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be, it's one step at a time. The guys will be getting to those areas as well. They've basically said, have we got a genuine, real story here? Okay. Historic reports say yes, but we're going to find out. There is one other addition. We're looking at adding a drone survey now over this area to our existing 3 drone surveys. And that would be a mag survey, but at the same time, we'll fry what they call a VLF, which is a very low frequency survey. Absolutely superb and perfect for graphite. And as this graphite is reported at surface, we couldn't wish for a better system to find it. It's all to do with the conductive nature of graphite. So it's an exciting moment, but all of this information we're going to get pretty much immediately. So it's going to enable us to plan next steps. But look, the drone surveys, we've got 3D modelling. Should we have anything of interest near this on survey from these 3D models where we intersected 14 metres of 14% zinc? We've got drill permits in place there. We can go straight in and potentially drill any anomaly. We're funded for all of this now, and that was the advantage of last week's fundraise. is that it enables us to act. And that's the most important thing. That's what's going to generate shareholder value. And Obonga has so many exploration targets. That plan would certainly be to prove one up, to get the interest from the industry, and then hopefully that will provide the keys to open the entire business up to exploration across this zone that it deserves. Remember, it's a greenstone belt that's stuck between a greenstone belt to the west, that had 5 past producing mines. You've got a Geraldine greenstone belt to the east. That's got something like 19 producing mines. Equinox are about to launch the next mine on that greenstone belt. Obonga sits in the middle of the two. Any discovery is not being missed by the industry. We know that already, and it's time for us to get those boots on the ground.
Okay, good. And I noticed from your comment in the RNS there, you said the work has the potential to quickly accelerate our understanding of Obonga's graphite endowment and will significantly advance the graphite side of the business. So coming out of this then, I'm guessing you want to potentially increase that target area, get an understanding if you actually do have a story here, something to actually go and follow up on that will then enable you to get in and prioritise drill targets. Is that right? You say you've got the funds, permits are in place to enable you to act. So coming out of this, you want to first of all confirm there is something there to follow up on, and then it would be a case of prioritising some drill targets, would it?
Yeah, look, we've got permits in place for survey and Ottertooth, which are both under the drones. They're VMS targets. It's Awkward East and West. We've got permits in application. And there's just a substantial amount of drill holes. However, this is at surface, and something that's worth remembering is you can actually drill in Ontario without a permit if you have a what they call a backpack drill. It's got to be under 150 kilos. And when you're looking at something at surface, that suddenly becomes of interest, especially over such a vast area. And so that's certainly one of the considerations we'll be putting in terms of our next steps.
Okay, good. And how quickly do you anticipate to get some feedback from this initial boots on the ground?
We'll be getting feedback as the program is under operation, and we'll report to the market as soon as we can, and that'll be through the usual channels. The overall reports might take a little bit longer. That's when you move into sort of RNS territory. But certainly, if we've got visuals and videos, I won't be against sharing those on our platforms as the program is underway. But look, it all depends. It's if we believe it's material, obviously we can't share that information. But it's a great start to the year for us, and we're looking to rapidly accelerate it as everyone hopes and expects, rightly so.
Well, thank you very much for your time. As always, Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals.
Thanks, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.